Success Africa today continues to focus on our core interest of bringing the very best out of Africa by telling positive stories about Africa, teaching in very small fora, success principles, the kind of policies and principles and habits that people have used throughout the ages to develop themselves to a level where they could do literally anything they put their minds to. And this is only made possible through continuous commitment to learning and continuous commitment to personal development. So when you look at life in its totality, there's always continuous desire by every individual to lead a better life. So recently I was reading a book, The Archer, by Paulo Coelho, and something really came to mind, that the way of the bow can be used in any line of life. If you are a good archer, you can be a good carpenter. If you are a good carpenter, you can be a good mason. If you are a good writer, you can be a good manager, because all the effort and the discipline and the self-determination that help you acquire the traits to make you a good writer are probably the very same traits that can help you make $1 million. They are the kind of traits that can make you have robust health. It's the kind of trait that can make you have a positive mental attitude, a peace of mind, so that everything you do, you have that certainty that comes from faith that you are indeed able to do it. And we continue to teach this because we look at it in terms of, if a lot of Africans, maybe 100,000 people in Africa, maybe 1 million people in Africa, develop faith to where they have this full belief that they are equal to the task, and that whatever you want to do, you can do it if you believe. And then you believe so well, so deeply, that whatever it is that you are going after, you will reach it. It means that now you have more energy, you have more determination, and you will persist more than somebody who approaches the same thing with doubt. So just about 1.5 years since we got started, we are now focusing on recruiting young people, like interns from universities. We have also created a new program called Know Your Leader, because there are a lot of people in our lives that we look up to, these role models. Knowing them doesn't just mean knowing their names or knowing what they have achieved, but going deep into conversations with these people and understanding what is it that is behind their success, what is it that has made it possible for them, what do they do continuously, what do they do as a habit that helped them rise and has helped them to rise to the level where they are. So we want to continue to draw out this information. We want to continue to involve a lot more people in the program. We are at a point where we are also thinking of working with high schools as well, because we know that when you start learning these things as early as possible in life, then these are things that stick with you. They become habits. So much as you start something because of a motive, something you intend to achieve, what really helps you sustain and repeatedly do something with accuracy, with the consistency, is just the habit. Because if it becomes a habit, then it's something that comes to you naturally. So where will this lead Africa? First and foremost, we have to have very, very good goal setting. The kind of goal setting that was done by countries like Japan and Singapore when they wanted to move from a poor country, or what I would say, not a very developed country, to a developed country. Like right now, we are looking at Africa in terms of the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. We are looking at the AU 2063 agenda. An example, just picking Kenya, the 2030 vision. And you find that when you look at all these sustainable development goals, it boils down to structuring and developing programs that just help individuals lead a better life, feel better, live better than you are living today, live better than you are living yesterday. So this journey starts with you as an individual. How are you going to set your goals of service? How are you going to set your goals of production so that you can actually bring a positive change to the lives of the people you serve? How can you deliver a better service? If you are someone who is in public transport, how do you ensure timely travel for your passengers? How courteous are you as an individual? How fair are you with your charges? If you are producing bread, for example, how fair are you with the weight? Do you feel it's okay to mark the bread 500 grams and make it 450 just because nobody weighs it every time they buy it? So the growth and true development of Africa, the change that we so much yearn for, begins with us. So the change is you, the change is me, and just by doing the right thing and setting very clear goals, you will find that with these goals, you develop the kind of self-discipline that helps you govern your own self. You don't need someone to come around and tell you to do things right, because your goal reminds you to do that. It will be very easy for you to develop the kind of relationships that are valuable. You form alliances with people who can help you achieve your goals, because as every human being is, you too have your own weaknesses. And those weaknesses can only be bridged through the friendly cooperation of others. So you form those cooperations, and then you find that you are building networks that are powerful. When you have a good goal, you have powerful networks, then now you have more belief. Your faith goes up. You believe that this goal might be big, but because of the alliances that I'm building, I'm able to achieve it, because now I've brought in people with some capabilities that I don't have. Once you believe that, then you find that how do you get more? Because the right way to ask is to give. The secret of asking and getting is giving. So if you ask little, it means you are giving little. You get little. If you want to get more, you give more. So once you have a good goal, you have a good alliance, and you have that deep, abiding faith, you will be able to go the extra mile. You're now willing to do more because you are energized. You feel so drawn to your goal. Like my case, I don't have to wake up and scratch my head whether I should read or write. It's just a matter of course. I get up, I will read, I will write, because my goal draws me to it. It's not a chore anymore, it's a game. So another thing that comes with that so naturally, that is very, very pivotal in making sure you get to where you are going, it's just courtesy. Developing that pleasing personality where people tend to gravitate towards you. People are willing to listen to your cause. People are willing to help you, because you create the kind of environment that is comfortable for a lot of people around you. People feel that you see them. They feel that they see you. You draw the collaborative effort of different people. And one thing that is for sure is that to harness all the power that we have, to profit from all the resources that we have, Africa has to develop a deliberate, intentional plan to collaborate with one another as Africans. Because whether you come from South Africa or North Africa or East Africa or West Africa, all the borders we have are just political borders. There are no boundaries there. And understanding that the success of Zambia, for example, is tied to the growth of Ethiopia. The success of Uganda cannot be delinked from the growth of Rwanda. So we have to come to a point where we look at Africa as being the solution to its own problems. We look at Africa as being the creator of its own fortunes. We have to look at ourselves in terms of, okay, if we were to identify just one goal, for example, the infrastructure goal, and ensuring that a lot of people can get energy, electricity, and we make that a goal that we must achieve in another 5 years, how do we as individuals, not even as government, how do we as individuals develop our own income earning capacity so that by the time these governments or whatever corporations build these power lines and generate this electricity or this energy, then we as individuals have the capability to afford it. So this thing does not begin with our leaders. This thing does not begin with government. The responsibility is squarely on our own selves. So the takeaway here, if you're going to succeed at anything, number one, have a very clear goal. Number two, make sure you associate with people who are sympathetic to that goal. There are people who are capable of achieving that goal, and there are people who are loyal to that goal. Number three, these same people associate with people who have great applied faith. You yourself develop deep, abiding belief that you'll achieve it. Number four, make sure at any cost, at whatever cost, always go the extra mile. Do more than what you are asked to do or what is you are expected to do. When you are given work, be the one who delivers better quality, more quantity, and with a very, very pleasing attitude. And finally, develop the pleasing personality. Be courteous. Ensure that you do and say things that help others feel good. And if you have the option to say something that hurts someone or say nothing, then just refrain. Just say nothing. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week.